Hello, my name is Dillon Lakshman, and this is the character breakdown and story and scene overview of the Advanced Interactive Media Development coursework. So, starting with the story and scene overview, uh, this will be an interactive story where a customer walks in. The basic overview of the story is a customer walks into the cafe and is informed by the cashier that there is a discount that is happening, but this discount is not something that he can get without effort. So the customer has to find a hidden person among the customers who are currently eating at the cafe, who has been planted by the cafe staff. If the customer can find this hidden person, he will get a 20% discount on their order. So basically, as I mentioned in this story overview, the customer walks into the cafe. The cashier explains the story of the discount and everything that has to be done to get the discount, and he explains to him that he has to find the hidden customer. So after hearing this story, the cashier, the customer starts speaking to different customers, going through different dialogues in the cafe space, like the customers who have come to like uh, have their meals at the cafe or just visiting. He goes through the dialogues of each customer and tries to find clues from their dialogues to find the hidden person. Also, speaking to the hidden kind will give you a wrong clue, so you have to decipher the clues which you are getting and try to figure out the correct customer at the end of speaking to all the customers. After speaking to all the customers, you can go to collect your food as a customer, and while collecting your food, when you have to pay, the cashier will ask you if you have found the hidden customer. If you have found the hidden customer and you answer correctly, you will get the 20% discount, or else the customer will have to pay the full amount. That is the full story that I will be demonstrating during the coursework too. When it goes to characters, I have used mostly Mixamo characters. Uh, so for starters, Liam is the cashier of the container cafe. Uh, so his animations are basically stand idle while he's waiting for the order. Talk and explain will be explaining the course that the customer has to take to find out the hidden person and to get the discount. And at the end, after being paid, he will turn around to collect the food and hand it over. Shia is another customer at the cafe. Her role is just a customer. Uh, she will stand idle inside the cafe, and when approached and spoken to, she will have a talking animation. She is also one of the customers who will reveal clues about the hidden customer. Mark is another such customer, but his animations will be seated down. So you will have a sit idle animation and a sitting talk animation. Troy is another child customer at the cafe, but he will not be a customer who responds to you. He will only have a physical reaction. His dialogue will be uh, not interactive. Uh, so he will have the sit idle animation and the sit and be afraid animation. The be afraid animation is similar to like a shy animation where he shrugs away from the character who is approaching him. Then we have Grace. Her role in the cafe is an angry customer. She will sit and be in idle position when not approached. When she is approached, she will be angry because she came to enjoy her meal, but she's being disturbed. So she will respond with an angry animation and an angry dialogue at that point. Douglas is a police officer in the vicinity uh, of the cafe. He will have a stand idle animation. When spoken to initially, he will talk in a normal animation. But if you talk to him repeatedly about finding clues of the hidden person, he will respond in an angry talk animation. And after a while, he will not respond to you at all. Sandy is the hidden person. She will have a stand idle animation, a talk normal animation, and a talk happy animation. She will also be the person who gives you the wrong clues about finding the hidden person. So that is the basic overview of the story and the character breakdown and animations of each character. So when it comes to the motion builder part of the coursework, where we have to integrate the models of the characters with the animations. Here I have taken one of the characters in the scene, Shia. Uh, we initially started with the T-pose model, which was brought in from Mixamo. For this model, then we drag and drop an asset called the characterizer into her skeleton structure, which you can be seen here. This is currently a rigged skeleton structure. It will not look like this initially. Once you drop the characterization asset into the skeleton, she will be characterized, and then you will get her under the characters option here. You can characterize her as a biped because she has 2 feet. When you go into her properties, there will be an option called character definition. In character definition, after characterizing, we can decharacterize her by unticking this and drag in an element called a plane. This plane will help us get her feet positioned correctly, and also to add a reference point later on, which I will be explaining as well. So once you add in the flow plane element, you can drag the flow plane element into the character's left foot flow reference and the right foot flow reference. After these two have been dragged in, you recharacterize it again, and that will get this plane as her foot reference. Once that is done, you can go to modifiers, flow contacts, tick feet flow contact and toes flow contact, which will make these markers visible. Then for these markers to be properly aligned with the feet, we can go to feet flow contact setup, feet contacts position, adjust these sliders as necessary for it to fit her feet. Currently I've already done all that. And then plot the character to a control rig. Once that is done, this character will be plotted to the control rig, and she will interact with the flow plane. For example, if you move the flow plane, her feet will move with it. So once that is all set up, we need to get a reference point. This reference point will be useful when moving her to Unity, and then doing the rest of the things that has to be done to make the interactive story there. So the reference point will be created once you create the control rig. It will be called Shia control whatever character that you have and control reference. You similarly as before decharacterize the model drag the control reference into the reference tab, and then characterize it again, and then go to character settings and plot the character again. Then you get this control reference point. This is the control reference point. This can be used to firmly ground her to the floor and the floor, so her feet aren't sliding when you bring it into Unity. So after that, you can see the ghost of each animation that I have added, and all of the ghosts are in the same position. I have zeroed them out so that there won't be any jumps when transitioning from animation to animation. Currently, animation smoothing is not done between animations. They are in separate tracks and different animations. Animation smoothing, I think, will be done in a further lecture, and once that is done, I'll be incorporating in my it in my solution at the end. The animations that I currently have are all brought in from Mixamo. This first animation that I have brought in is the idle main, which is one of the idle animations that Shia has. I have brought them all at 60 fps because I wanted it to be a smooth animation. So if you tick this, it'll loop. As you can see, the animation plays. I have muted all the other tracks and only this idle main track is playing now. And she has idle animation, a slow idle animation of 903 frames. As you can see, I had to set the value to 903, and once you play it, the animation will loop. As you can see, there is no change between the last frame and the first frame of the animation. There is no movement in the model, so you can see that the animation loop is a smooth animation loop. If this animation was brought in from Mixamo, if I did do it with a motion capture device such as the Kinect, I would have to smoothen out the pose at the beginning and the end so that it would be a smooth animation throughout. So using the same method, I have done the other animations as well. This last animation is an angry animation which I'll be using for a different character, but I have currently just added it to Shia for a preview. So similarly, I have added I will be adding all of these animations, the necessary animations for each character in motion builder, then making them right enabled, and then exporting each clip and saving them. And once this is all done, we can move the character over to Unity. So as you can see, I have imported the characters onto Unity and their animations are all playing. This is still only not interactive, it's a set animation which is looping in each character. I have also added the sitting character who has a sitting animation which I haven't rigged yet, which I will rig now. As you can see now, she is moving and has sitting idle animation. I have also added the container cafe. The plane is still a blank plane, I will be adding the background and other assets to make this look more refined. Also, I have added a mesh collider for the container cafe so that you cannot walk through it, as it did not come in with a collider initially. So you can walk around. The controller that I'm using for the character that I'm controlling is the first person character from the standard assets folder which Unity provides. When you go into each character, when you initially import them from Mixamo or Motion Builder, there is a small issue where the character comes out looking not proper. The textures are all messed up, where you have to go to the character, have to extract his materials, extract the textures first, then extract the materials, then go under the character and then edit the materials for each section and set the shader as opaque. But for the body matte material, I have set it to cut out because there is also an issue with the eyelashes which has to be fixed, otherwise they look very solid. For each character I have set a animator controller. This animator controller currently only has one animation. I can drag in the other animations as necessary, and then it will create a new state, and you can make transitions between these animations. Currently we have not done the fungus tutorial, and once that is completed I will also add the character animation transitions according to the dialogue which is happening. Currently this is the progress that I have made in my coursework. Thanks for watching.